Hello, I'm Diane Gove, the Director for Projects at Alzheimer Europe, which is a European umbrella organisation with 41 member associations in 37 countries. Together with my colleague, Anna Diaz, I support the Patient Advisory Board of the RADAR-AD project. This advisory board has been carrying out public involvement activities since the very start of the project in 2019. Public involvement is about members of the public, in this case people with dementia, people with mild cognitive impairment and their supporters, providing their perspectives and insight into living with these conditions. And some of the members, Helen, Chris, Larry, Gianni and Ikuko, are going to tell you about their work and why it's important.
Well, for me, being part of the Patients Advisory Board has been an empowering experience. As a member, I was able to see firsthand the benefits of us all being involved together. With researchers, we met on a regular basis, with lots of interaction about the devices that were to be used by the participants in this study, such as watches and cameras and sensors. And our feedback was highly valued, and we were able to influence change, which was really important in this research process. And this was appreciated by everybody. Despite the seriousness of the topic, we were able to find joy and laughter in the discussions with the RADAR team. For example, people like myself, when I went to the supermarket in Rural Ireland where I live, I wondered how the neighbours would feel about me walking around with the camera on me. And also for my colleagues, they had different thoughts. So these moments of levity helped us, of course, to build a sense of camaraderie and support. And then the pandemic struck. Everything changed. COVID-19 stopped the work of the advisory board in its tracks. But you know what? We're a resilient team. We quickly adapted to our new world of Zoom, and we soon resumed our work, albeit from a distance and in isolation. It is a welcome relief to be able to see our friends again and to continue our work together. Through all of this, we have continued to contribute to the process, and I feel proud to be part of this important work.
One of the things I enjoyed most was being involved early in the process, making it understandable and supportive for participants, developing accessible documentation, which all help not just the researchers but also the retention of those taking part. Looking at and selecting the different devices was very interesting. How to adjust them for the best use, how to set them up for best efficiency, and make them work for those using them. We as a group realised that not just retention of participants can be an issue, but also attracting people to take part. We made a recruitment video explaining the project, how easy it is to take part, and most importantly, how they, the participants, can change the future for the better for all.
RADAR-AD is a very exciting project because of the potential of using remote monitoring technology. We used digital wearables and everyday devices to help advance research, diagnosis, and to improve the lives of people with mild cognitive impairment and dementia. What I think makes this project unique is that existing devices, which many people already are familiar with, were used to collect information. And this offered the possibility of predicting whether or not changes in daily life indicate dementia being present or whether it is progressing. This project showed how monitoring a dementia condition could be moved out of the memory clinic and back into people's daily lives. Remote monitoring of activities in daily living might eventually contribute to effective routine diagnosis and management. Of course, people may even experience challenges using familiar technology, especially some older people, people with mild cognitive decline. Some of the challenges that members of the Patient Advisory Board discussed were also linked to barriers to access for some marginalised groups and a lack of good digital infrastructure or in rural areas, and for some people, a fear or a lack of familiarity with technology. Lay members of the Patient Advisory Board made many suggestions to the research team about finding workable ways of using devices ethically and reliably.
Just because you get a diagnosis of some type of dementia does not mean that you're over the age of 65 and live with a wife or a husband in the same house. Some of us carers lives in another city and is a daughter like me, for example. And that is why it was good to have carers involved in the public advisory board to consider and to listen to the perspectives that we have and what we feel is important and not in a research like this, to be able to help out as much as we can.
In most cases, a person with dementia has to have a research partner to participate in research. Some must be reminded when to do something, and others need to be reminded what to do. So it is important for researchers to understand the needs of the research partners and how to support them. For example, if an app is used, that the research partner could have the same app so they can do this together. The needs can be very varying a person to a person, so it is very important to have good communication with the participant and his or her supporter about the person's needs.
I would like to congratulate everyone involved in this great project. All of the work would not have been possible without the openness, respect and enthusiasm of all those involved in Radar AD. A big thank you to all the work that you do and have done, plus for not just bringing us to the table, but also for listening to us. Which brings me to my favourite phrase, nothing about us without all of us.